all around. Hopefully, we don't revisit anything like that.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I just can't really be behind anything like that. And I'm not just saying that on the basis of I don't want black people to be hit with this. I don't want any American people to be hit with this. It's why we have a constitution.
That's right. That's right.
Well, it is what it is.
You know, you're right about that. It is what it is. If we had all the answers, we'd be running for office.
Yeah, but we have to be criminals too, though. You know, I don't know if we're that kind of criminal.
No, you have to be, as I say, a crook. Not a criminal, but a crook.
It's like Trump when he said Trump said he was smarter because he didn't pay taxes. Okay, for a few years because he knew all the loopholes. You know.
No, well.
Yeah, man, that was a shame. That was a shame to hear him say that, man.
He didn't say that.
Was.
No, he did say that. He said it made him smarter.
He said if it happened, it would have made him smarter. That's all.
But the bottom line is, it's the way he said it, okay, and the way it came out. You know,
and look, if you think Hillary's not hiding money somewhere, you're crazy. You know what I mean? Like, she's doing the same thing. She's just smart enough not to brag about it.
Well, according to the Republicans, that's why they really want to have the Clinton Global Initiative gone over, because that's what they're saying, that foreign governments or even American institutions are, donating money, and how do you know that they're not getting, or what they're not getting in return,
All of a sudden, you got a meeting and a breakfast with Bill after you donated that money. Coincidence.
Well, wait a second. At least you get a meet and greet. When you apply to Trump University, you're supposed to have your picture taken with Trump, but they don't tell you that. It's just a blow-up picture of him, and you're standing next to it. You don't get to really shake his hand. What can I tell you?
Oh, man. 2016, what is it, man? We got these two people running.
You know what it is? Well, you know what the important thing is? Forget about personalities. Okay, one thing I agree with them on, and I'm a progressive and a liberal, so this is why I feel the way I do. Felix is a bit more conservative. The big thing is the next president gets to nominate, okay, one, maybe even two justices of the Supreme Court.
To say maybe even three.
Well, no, that's if you're going to go for two terms. I don't think. I think if it's Trump, I think somebody like Ruth Bader Ginsburg will have herself wheeled into the Supreme Court chamber in a hospital bed if she has to, rather than give up her seat. Okay, but the bottom line is, let's say definitely one and possibly two seats on the Supreme Court, and that could change the face of the court for another 30 years because.
Especially if they get young guys or gals.
First of all, I think the mistake that they make is that I really don't think that these should be lifetime appointments. I think that they should serve 2 or 3 terms, whatever it is. Let's say 3 6-year terms. 18 years is more than enough. That's like a lifetime, okay, in working in one place. And then just rotate it. If the seat is up for grabs and you go over this all over again. I don't think it should be for life.
Yeah, I mean, just think about how long that is and how much life changes while somebody is sitting there. If we set all the justices down right now and put some computers in front of them and said, okay, we want you to log into Facebook on this one. We want you to send a tweet on this one. We want you to log into that one and buy something on Amazon. We're setting the clock, go. I don't know if all of them could actually complete that task. And I'm not saying that, just to knock them for the age. I'm just saying, like, the idea of serving anything for life is kind of ridiculous and needs to be revisited. So, I mean, I'm with you with that, man.
Well, I tell you,
But at
Naj.
the same time, how much are they going to do? Like, really? The Supreme Court nominee doesn't scare me either because it's like, how much are they really going to do? They're going to hem and haw on everything, split decision on everything, and they're not going to do anything of substance. They never do in my mind. But
Well,
I could be wrong. I'm just throwing that out.
I don't know, but you actually, not meaning to, you actually insulted me because I'm one of those people who doesn't know anything when it comes to computers. In fact, I got to tell you something. I saw a cartoon, not really a cartoon. It was a picture of a little, let's say, a 2-year-old kid on the phone with his grandmother, okay? And he's trying to explain how to do something on her phone or her computer. And the kid is getting frustrated, and the kid is saying, "No, Grandma, I told you that's wrong. Aren't you listening to me? You got to press this button, not that button." And that would be me. Or the commercial on TV when they show an elderly couple, and they say, "Oh, the grandkids are coming over. That's terrific." And they bring out their cell phone, and they bring out their computers, because this is free tech help. The kids are coming over. They're going to fix the computers. They're going to set everything up for them. My son laughs at me after he puts me down quite a bit. This is my older son. He said, you never should have got a computer. You never should have got a cell phone. He said, you just should use an old rotary phone. He said, forget about a cell phone. He says, because you got all these apps on here and you don't even use half of them. You don't know what they are. And you're always pressing the wrong button. So I said, well, thanks a lot. Just remember one thing. I said, if you're lucky, one day you'll get to be as old as me. And I left it at that,
Yes, indeed. Hey, you saying if these computers ever go out, I can still function. What are you going to do? And look, my little brothers, they laugh at me because I still buy music. They don't even entertain the idea of buying music. They've never bought music.
No,
the majority of their adult lives getting free music.
That's right.
So it was music and movies and things like that.
It was all streamed and downloaded.
The same old man thing. Yeah.
Hey, listen.
They look at me as the old man on the computer.
Naj, when we went to school, and I would say that I'm probably almost 20 years older than you, okay? But when we went to school, they had things called the card catalog. And if you were looking something up in the library, you go to the card catalog, you look for a reference book, and you take out 3 or 4 reference books and you put them on a desk. You're not allowed to take them home, okay? And in those days, they didn't really have copy machines that worked. And you read through the material and you copied down notes, and then you went home and you wrote your report. None of this bullshit where you get everything from Google or this link or that link, and then you type it up on the computer, you press print, and there it is.
Yep.
Dude, think how many hours we wasted in the library with that Dewey Decimal System and all of that nonsense. And it would be a paper about the rainforest or something, something silly. But we had to take all that time to gather all that little information we had and put together a lackluster paper. And they can go and look at some of the best minds that have ever been out there, read their work, piece some of that together with some ideas they have, and create a paper in half the time we did. So, yeah, it's crazy when you think about it. There's people buying papers now.
Oh, that went on when I was going to grad school and college. The company, then they're not really out there anymore like they used to be. But they used to be rampant. You needed a paper. All you had to do was call up the number. They would type in whatever, and, in 2 weeks, they send you a printed copy of your paper, and that was it. You send them a check for $60 or $75, and that was it. Yep.
And they ask you, do you want an A, you want a B minus, a B?
Yeah, basically they do. They say, and you say, and if you're going to be honest, you say, listen, I'm pulling a D in the course. I'd settle for a C+. This way the professor doesn't get, suspicious.
Yep.
Right.
now you got people selling papers on Craigslist, and you got this kind of war between the academia and the students, to where some of this software that looks for plagiarized material, they're trying to stay a step ahead of it. So it's crazy, man.
And the thing is, now with like you just said, with all of these search engines and everything, they can look at what they did to Melania when she gave her speech at the Republican convention. Line for line, she took it from Michelle Obama. Okay, well, it was whoever was writing the speech with or for her. Because she said she happened to admire Michelle Obama. That was one thing. So the woman went to Michelle Obama's speech, and she took out line for line.
It was only like 2 lines. It wasn't that much, neither.
It wasn't them, but the thing is, it doesn't have to be.
It's like a paragraph.
But
either way, though, I hope they didn't pay them.
Well,
I hope they didn't pay them. I'll tell you that.
But you know something? It doesn't have to be a lot, because all they have to do is prove that you have taken something from another paper without footnoting it properly. And if you're going for a doctorate, you can forget about it. That's it. You can kiss your PhD goodbye.
Yeah, plagiarism.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of
and it's a new day with plagiarism and PhDs, because a long time ago, that was just part of the process. Just about any PhD you could find, they plagiarized something from someone. Most of the time through just influence from reading things so much, not knowing. But, that was part of the process, 20, 30 years ago. Now, man, that's it. Like you said, you get a scarlet letter for that.
Yeah, they have all these programs that will just look for combination of words.
That's right. They look for the same combination of words being repeated, and then it's not even that let's say your cooperating professor, the one who advises you, he has students that he tells to go and do the research, and then when you come in for your oral or whatever it is, and you're trying to defend your thesis, then he just shoves it all up in your face,
Crazy time, man.
Yes, sirree.
Crazy time we're living in. But, the other thing I wanted to bring up before I get out of here, I know you guys got to go soon, but the other thing I wanted to bring up was notice how mainstream media is jumping immediately on the 2 third-party candidates, trying to discredit them, showing that Gary Johnson doesn't have a worldview, he's kind of limited, showing that Jill Stein may have some funny beliefs about autism and vaccines and things like that. They're discrediting them and going through them with a fine-tooth comb. But these 2 party members, who they should be really, really going through, it's kind of kid gloves for Trump and Hillary. So,
Yeah.
I guess the media can do their job when they want to. That's all I say.
Anyway, do we have silence or what?
Well, we're just catching our breath. That's all. Just catching our breath.
We've only been out for 73 minutes.
It's like when my youngest daughter my younger daughter would, we'd say to her, Robin, are you sleeping? She says, no, I'm just resting my eyes. She wasn't asleep. She just resting her eyes.
That's my wife all the time. She looks like she's fast asleep, and you say something, she just opens her eyes, look at you. And,
I did that once when I was driving my daughter back to the University of Massachusetts. The same daughter who is just resting her eyes.
Yeah.
It was... Yeah, I don't even know if you'd laugh at this, Naj, but it was the day of my oldest son's bar mitzvah, okay? And my youngest son, the one who's the cop, had a playoff hockey game at 6 o'clock in the morning the next day. So after the bar mitzvah, we had the usual, what everybody else has, and then we had an after party, okay?